Rev it up and welcome to Cars Yeah, show number 2276. Today, I'm going to teach you how you could have a chance to win a 2023 Dodge Challenger Jailbreak. Yeah, very few people are going to get an allocation, and our guest today has an allocation, and instead of keeping it, he's going to give it away. Be prepared to be inspired.
This is Cars Yeah, where you'll enjoy interviews with inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Mark Green is here to provide you with a fuel injection of automotive inspiration. So get in, sit down, buckle up, and get ready for a wild ride here on Cars Yeah.
Hello, inspiring automotive enthusiasts, and welcome to Cars Yeah. Today I'm back in Dallas, Texas with a very special returning guest by the name of Richard Rawlings. Yeah, you know this guy. Richard, welcome back to Cars Yeah. Do you have any gear, and are you ready to release the clutch and lay some stripes?
Let's do it, man.
As always. Now, before I give you an introduction here, as if you really need one, but I want to because you're doing something kind of fun. You've done 4 giveaways on your show before, and I'll just run through these prizes. You gave away a Dodge Ram TRX, a 69 Camaro, a Hellcat, 68 Thomas Crown Affair Mustang, and $200,000 to some past followers of yours. This giveaway stuff is becoming a trend, my friend.
Well, there are a lot of companies that do it, but we're trying to make it more of an experience and not just, buy some crap and win this car.
Yeah.
It's more about the fun. You mentioned the giveaway of the Hellcat. What you did mention is that was Hellcat serial number 2 from day one.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
And what have you. So the first few times we did it where the winner gets to come here, party with us, have some Texas barbecue, and then take any car. I mean, like walk into my warehouse and go, I want that one.
Well, this is fun, and you're going to be doing it again. So let me give you a brief little introduction on what we're going to be talking about today, and then I'm going to kind of walk you through what you're doing. Richard Rawlings, of course, is the automotive enthusiast and entrepreneur behind Dallas, Texas's Gas Monkey Garage and the Discovery Channel's Fast and Loud. Also, Garage Rehab, Demolition Theater, and Misfit Garage shows. He's a busy guy. Gas Monkey Garage is introducing their giveaway number 5, and we'll be giving away a 2023 Dodge Challenger Jailbreak allocation with the ultimate customization experience. Now, this Challenger is an 800 horsepower ride. It's one of the last V8 models that Dodge will be making as they go towards the EV vehicles. Maybe we'll talk about that later in our talk today. And with Richard's connections, guess what? He got an allocation, but he's not going to keep it. In his typical tradition of being so giving, one of his fans is going to win this car and a personalized experience trip to the Gas Monkey Garage, where Richard will help the winner spec out this new ride. We'll be back in just a moment, but first a word from our sponsors. So sit tight, learn how you could be a winner, and we'll be right back. Years ago, when it was time to renew my collector car insurance policy, my carrier's rates went up. Way up, but my usage was the same and I never made a claim. I didn't even have a ticket. So what's with that? So I turned to American Collectors Insurance. Has your collector car insurance recently raised your rates for no good reason? Tired of paying an annual membership fee? Then it's time to look around and call American Collectors Insurance. I shopped around, I asked friends for recommendations, and found a winner that I can trust. And boy, I'm glad I did. I saved hundreds of dollars every year and slept better at night knowing my baby was properly insured. American Collectors Insurance have been protecting vehicles since 1976. They provided me with an agreed value insurance policy backed by their history of taking great care of their clients. What could be better than that? So give them a call and ask for a quote today. 866-ACI-YEAH. That's 866-224-9324. And protect the ones you love like I did with American Collectors Insurance. Classic car insurance designed by collectors for collectors. Thinking about selling your classic or exotic car? Selling a classic or specialty car can be very complicated. Where to list it? How to take the best photos and videos? What information should you be including? How to answer tough questions? from potential buyers. It can be a lot to handle, and doing these things wrong can cost you thousands of dollars. But don't worry, my friends at Classic.com are here to help. Classic.com pros know how to properly market your automobile, plus they'll help you determine the proper asking price, define your marketing strategy, present the offer, and they'll handle all the inquiries, removing you and your emotions from the equation. I have no doubt that your special ride is unique, and your marketing plan should be too. So be smart. Contact the experienced pros at Classic.com today. Their extensive network will ensure your car gets in front of qualified buyers. They will eliminate those pesky tire kickers and scammers. Plus, when your vehicle sells, they'll handle all the paperwork and logistics, making the entire process like a nice drive in the country. Talk to the pros today about selling your car. Just go to classic.com/carsyeah today and tell them Mark sent you. For several years now, you've heard me talk about Linkage Magazine. I've been a subscriber since the start. Their talented and creative team brings you a spectacular publication and website that shares the automotive passion from a worldwide perspective. Linkage is about driving, restoring, collecting, and first-hand experience at collector car auctions and more. They bring you real-world values plus rational, experienced opinions on the current markets. They cover the automotive world and the people who share our passions. And Linkage Magazine has grown, mailing you 6 issues annually. Join me on this journey with Linkage. They're geared for the automotive life. You can subscribe at linkagemag.com. So, Richard, we are back. So I want to dig a little deeper into this Dodge Challenger giveaway. You know, very few people get an allocation like this, and especially over the last 2 years where trying to buy a car has been very challenging with all the ramifications of COVID and supply chain. But you've decided to give yours away. So can you talk a little bit about what this is? I mean, the Dodge Challenger SRT Jailbreak model, oh my gosh, is pretty darn cool. But I'd like to get your perspective on this car, and then we're going to dive a little deeper into some of the things that the winner will be getting. But let's talk about the Dodge Challenger SRT Jailbreak model.
Well, basically, they're gone. The allocations are all set. So this is somebody's chance to get, something that's not going to be made anymore. And, high horsepower. I call it the last of the fire-breathing dragon, so to speak. And a lot of guys or people out there, if they've got an allocation, they're going to, obviously they're going to be speccing their car. You got about 40 different choices from wheels and colors and brakes and seatbelt colors and paint colors and carbon options and body options and horsepower options. It's just really pretty crazy. So I thought about, why not give somebody the experience instead of just speccing one out and then giving it away? Give them the experience of getting to build their one-of-one last of the V8 muscle cars. They're not going to make it more, and this is a hellaciously cool opportunity because you get to come in here, spec it the way you want it. It'll be your car. It's not what somebody else spec. Like me, I would spec everything black and the most horsepower I could find,
Yeah.
And but somebody might want it purple,
Yeah.
Who knows? So I think it's a really cool opportunity to get a car that's definitely going to go up in value and is going to be a special vehicle for that one person that gets to do it the way they want to. And I hope they do something crazy.
Yeah.
I hope they get purple stripes. And, one-off cars are meant to be weird.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're super cool. I had a very rare, there was only 3 Porsche turbos ever painted this particular color. And it became kind of a car that everybody wanted from me. I finally let it go last year, but having something unique and especially a color that's unique and different can really set you apart. And the other thing that you're going to be doing this giveaway is including a little spending cash, right? Tell me about that.
Absolutely. They get a wad of cash to help offset the taxes, or, maybe if they wanted to further customize the car, have Gas Monkey do their tricks on it or what have you. It's totally up to them what they do there. And, they get to come here, like I said, have some barbecue and beer, spec out their car. And however long it takes Dodge to make it, then it'll show up at their door.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So am I right in saying you're going to be handing over $25,000 in cash? Do I have that number right?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Oh, my gosh. A dream come true. I mean, just visiting your garage would be fun enough, but get to go and spec a car and have you help walk this person through and then hand them a wad of money. Yeah, because the tax man always gets his part, right? But that's just part of the deal you have to get, but that's going to be the least of your problems when you get this thing delivered. Now, everyone making a purchase at your garage, Gas Monkey Garage website, you got a special deal going on. And help me get this right. If they make a purchase, every dollar spent event gets to up their chance to win? Is that how it works?
Yeah, there's different programs running every weekend and each day. So sometimes there's multipliers. You have the ability to multiply it yourself. But every dollar you spend equals some amount of entries into being drawn as the winner. There's pretty good odds. I don't want to tell you how many people usually enter, but these odds are almost as better than, trying to win $2 on a scratch-off lottery ticket.
There you go.
There's not hundreds of millions of people or individuals in this. There's a finite group of individuals. And so I always tell everybody the odds are unbelievable. If you got an extra few dollars, you might as well get in because it's a pretty good chance.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I wanted to touch a little bit, and by the way, you listeners, I'm going to put links to how you can go and find out how to pop into this, be a part of it, and hopefully this will be in your garage one day. But I want to go back in time with you a little bit because the Dodge Challenger is one of those cars that has been around for a long time. I mean, the name Challenger's been around. It goes back to the muscle car era. Can you talk a little bit about your history and your thoughts on the Dodge Challenger and how it's evolved over time, and your thoughts on how they brought it back to current cars? We've seen this with a lot of different brands. Talk a little bit about your history with Dodge Challengers.
Oh, I've been buying and selling and trading Mopars, pretty much since I was a teenager. So, my experience has always been good because they rarely go down in value and pretty much always go up. Right now I just got a Superbird in the other day, but
oh, cool.
What I like about Dodge, and this was true back in the 60s and 70s, they pushed the envelope. They're a big conglomerate, a big corporation, and, they got all these rules and stuff, just like Ford and Chevy, but Dodge don't care. Dodge says, we're going to make it cool, and we're going to push it all the way to the line as far as we can get it without getting slapped by the old U.S. government. We're going to do it.
Yeah, well, it's cool. And, I remember they did an ad series years ago where they talked about the Dodge brothers being kind of wild, crazy guys back in the day. And, of course, that's when they brought out the new modified Challenger and so forth. So this has been part of their heritage going way, way back. And correct me if I'm wrong, this is the fastest car that you'll ever be giving away? I mean, as far as horsepower and what this thing can do?
Well, it's the fastest car to date that we'll be giving away.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm sure that as we keep going with this and as we grow, I want to be the first guy to give away $1 million car. I mean, I want these prize packages to keep getting bigger and better and keep going up.
Well, that would be cool. That would be nice. I got a little scoop here today, so I'm going to hold you to that one day, and I don't doubt that's going to happen. If you were going to be speccing this car, and you gave us a little clue earlier, and you were going to keep the car, and I know there's lots of things you can do with this, color, wheel style, even caliper colors. The list of options goes on and on, but if you were going to spec this car to keep it, you mentioned all black, but is there anything you'd do special with this thing?
I would get the most horsepower, the best accessories, but all black everything. That's just the way I order my cars. That's what I do with them. Yeah. And but I think once I sat down at the computer, I might be tempted to pick some weird ass color just so it's more rare. I don't know.
Well, you almost have to. I think, because when you get a chance like this, it's like with the Porsche brand, you can do paint to sample, they call it. And every time a paint to sample car comes up for sale, everybody goes after it. And I always tell people, don't buy a car because you're going to sell it in the future. Buy a car that you love. But there's nothing better than walking out to the garage or walking away from your car and looking back and seeing something that doesn't look like everything else on the street. And, I wanted to mention somebody real briefly here who I had on the show not too long ago, who you know well, Johnny Bomer. What you did with him and that Ford and the speed record that guy set. I just wanted you to touch on Johnny a little bit because you and he have a special relationship. You made some things happen for this guy so that he could set some insane records, right?
Yeah, we really did. We got off to the start 6 or 8 years ago, and with chasing the 300 mile marker, so to speak, and we got real close at 296.8, or I think it was. Yeah. And when we got back out on the track here this year, or late last year, I'm sorry, we were able to hit 310.8 miles an hour.
Insane.
This is a street legal, tag titled, licensed, insured car that still has air conditioning and stereo. And, he takes his kids to school and goes through the McDonald's drive-thru and all that kind of stuff.
I know.
and no one's ever done it. There's one other car, which is a Ford also, that says they did 300.4, but it's not a street car. It's a full-on race car.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's not streetable at all. It's meant to do one thing. So having a production car go 310 is pretty insane. And, actually we're gearing up to do it again because with the computer information we had and how well everything worked, we think that we've got 330-ish in our sights.
Really? Oh my gosh. Those speeds. Did you ever dream that? I mean, you haven't asked Johnny this. Now, he said, yeah, I dreamed I could do this because I did it. But when you start getting over 200 miles an hour, 250, things change really rapidly. And if any of you listeners missed my talk with Johnny, go back and find it on the Car Show website. I mean, it's astounding what he pulled off and the fact that he's going to go back and try to do more of it. And your involvement with him making this whole thing possible. My hat's off to you guys. It's incredible.
Well, I like Johnny. I like his style. I like it when people do things, the right way and don't try to, finagle the rules or slide in. At the end of the day, that record, I don't see anybody breaking it because it's been a lot of money and a lot of time. And it really also kind of irks me a little bit when some of these hypercar, supercar people capable of 300 plus miles an hour, can you do it or not? Because right. There's not been one, and I've nailed some of those guys before. I won't say who they are, but I'm like, so have you done 300? Well, no, but the computer renderings and the models show us that
right.
we can do. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, well, computer modeling at 300 miles an hour is a whole hell of a lot different than being in the seat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It dumbfounded me. So again, listeners, go back and listen to that talk, and can't wait to have Johnny back to talk about more things as well. Again, I want to talk a little bit more about Challengers. You've had many go through your garage and built many, many cars. Is there one, if you think back in time, we're talking about old cars now, that really stood out for you, a car that you built that maybe you just kind of went, man, I should keep this thing. I don't want to let this go. I know you like to buy and sell cars, and that's part of your thing, but is there one when you think back in history that really stands out for you?
As far as all the cars that we've done, and
no,
we've done
just the Challengers. Yeah, it's relating to Dodge Challengers and Mopars.
We built a really, really badass green one that we gave away in conjunction with one of the oil companies, and that was a fun car to build. We were kind of probably the first ones to put all the new guts into an old car, and
okay, yeah,
it was a really nice car. I want to remember, I think it was a 70. Okay. I'd have to go back to my book because we built so many, but we really nailed it, and everything on it was just tits perfect, and it was all brand new, 392, and then, we also took we were the first ones to run a standalone Hellcat motor, and we put that into the Shark Cat, is what we called it, the 69 Dodge Dart.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we raced those guys over there at Roadkill, and they thought they had us whipped, thought we were some shenanigans from Texas, and we showed up with that car and just walked away from them.
Nice. Wicked car. I alluded to this in my introduction with you, and I wanted to get your impression. I've been asking a lot of my guests about this. The upcoming world of EVs and how that kind of dials into your head, being an old school muscle car guy, a car guy, an ICE engine guy. What are your impressions or what are your thoughts about the upcoming EV world, and where is this all going to fit in? I mean, do you have any interest in these things at all, or is that just like,
Actually, I'm going to have interest in them because that's the way the world's going. But at the same time, we're car guys. So you give me something that is electric or gas or whatever, I'm going to make it fast. So if I got to break into it with a computer instead of tools, fine. I'll break into it. Now, that's me being a car guy. Sure. But thoughts on it is that it's been crammed down our throat a little too fast, and they keep speeding up the timelines, and everybody's going electric and all this, and they're putting all these incentives to the manufacturers, and we don't really know what's going to happen when there's 500 million freaking lithium-ion batteries sitting around leaking,
right?
And old. It's going to get rid of. I mean, it takes 4 hours to put out a Tesla car fire.
Yeah, a little frightening.
Godly amount of water then it damages, and the way that we have to try to keep and hold on to all the hazardous materials and everything. It's a freaking mess. But, my personal opinion is it's no better for the environment than a regular gasoline or diesel car, because you still got to burn coal to make the electricity to get it into the car.
Kind of funny.
The car itself is full of horrible chemicals that we don't ever know. We won't know in our lifetime what that's going to do to the earth, except and so forth. So my honest opinion would be, let's just stick to what we know.
Until we know more.
But we have to advance. And one of the things that really cracks me up is, I see the big billboards that say, don't text and drive. Well, you literally have to text and drive to drive your freaking car.
I know.
You got to do everything on this big giant screen.
Yeah, I had somebody say that the other day. They said they've spent years trying to get us off our phones while we're driving, and now they're putting giant iPads right on the dash. So how's that all working? But I appreciate you sharing your thoughts on that.
Well, you're going to see Gas Monkey make an electric car. It's going to happen. So, but we will do it in a fashion that we always do. When we do something, we kick the door in. We're here. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, you kind of do that a little bit. So I always.
Oh, I've already got this one planned and the stuff here.
Okay.
And it will light the internet on fire.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to that. We'll have you come back and talk about that. Now, I always enable people, I should say, go on what I call the ultimate drive. So here we're going to do. We're going to take this car that you're going to be giving away, and I'm going to ask it to you in this way. If you and the winner of this vehicle spec this thing out and it shows up, and I could enable you to go anywhere in this car, take it for a nice drive, anywhere on the planet, where do you think you'd advise this new owner to take the car and go for a ride?
I'd probably take this car up and over to Italy and Greece.
Ah, nice.
Oh, just get a little bit of mountains, a little bit of ocean, some good scenic drives, the echoing of the exhaust and what have you. That'd be cool.
I think so. Yeah, sounds like a nice drive. So again, how can people go and put their name in the hat and hopefully be the winner of this wonderful car? What are the different ways they can learn about it?
GasMonkeyGarage.com, any of our social media handles. And then if they're through Dallas, we're open 7 days a week. Come on by. We've got a killer gift shop with a bunch of cars on display and things like that. It's a good time. It looks like there's about 15 cars in the parking lot right now.
There you go.
So we'd love to host them if they come out. And GasMonkeyGarage.com, every dollar they spend is an entry to win.
Absolutely. Now, when will the winner be announced?
I think it's over with on April 20th, so probably about 6 or 7 days after that. Let's call it the end of April.
Okay. There you go. So there's time for you listeners to perhaps be a winner here. So I'll put links to all these things. Again, Richard, really nice of you guys to do this. I mean, it's fun. You can go back, for you listeners, go back and watch videos of the other winners. I was watching a few of those last night. I love the one where the guy, you kind of tricked him. He lived awful close to you. Thought he only won 10 grand, and turns out it was $200,000. He looked a little happy.
That was pretty cool because, that's all handled by third-party attorneys and third-party accountants and all that up in New York City. And the guy that won the 200 grand literally was about 20 minutes away.
Yeah, I mean, that was awesome. So I think that was pretty cool. I also want to do a little shout out to Kelly Hunter. She's the one who brings Richard to the show here. Kelly, thank you for another fun talk. Richard, this is great what you're doing. You just keep doing what you're doing, buddy. I think it's wonderful. Until you and I talk again, I'll see you. Oh, hey, before I let you go though, I want to remind you listeners, check out the Gas Monkey Garage website, because there's more than his builds there, as if that's not enough. There's a lot of cool stuff that you're selling people based on your brand. I mean, some really cool things, right?
Absolutely. And more stuff every day. And of course, we don't do a whole lot during, January and February. Now we're fixing to step into really getting crazy with all the stuff that we're going to have for sale here in the spring.
Absolutely. So check it out at GasMonkeyGarage.com. Richard, thanks for rolling in, doing a little pit stop with me today and sharing what you're doing with this giveaway. Until you and I talk again, my friend, I'll see you at the Gas Monkey Garage.
Absolutely. See you later.
You take care. Bye-bye. If you're listening to this program, there's a pretty good chance you believe what I believe, that the collector vehicles we love are more than just a means of getting from one place to the other. They're a part of our culture, our identity, and as a people, they bring us together at vintage races, classic car auctions, and 1,000-mile rallies. That's why I support the RPM Foundation, which exists to ensure that the critical skills necessary to preserve and restore these important vehicles aren't lost to time. RPM stands for Restoration, Preservation, and Mentorship, and their goal is to inspire the next generation of vehicle restoration professionals through its outreach programs. And they include Shop Hop, Off to the Races, the RPM Future Class, and many others. These programs engage talented young people across the country and connect them with mentors and a variety of opportunities in the industry. For more information on how the RPM Foundation is driving the future of collector vehicles skill trade, visit rpm.foundation today.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's ride here at Cars Yeah. Drive on over to carsyeah.com to find show notes and inspiring automotive fun. Download your free copy of Filler Up, a fun book filled with gorgeous photographs of fuel filler fun, including quotes from more inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Download your copy today, and we'll see you next time on Cars Yeah.